Hey guys, how's it going? Welcome back to part 4 of our pinstriping basics series. At this stage you're pretty clued up, you know quite a bit about brushes and paint and basic design, layout and all that. So you probably are wondering what's next. Which is the exactly same thing I've been asking myself all the few years back when I first started. And I think it wasn't until I painted like little 666 number on the side of my Harley I used to own back then, with the same brush, the sword liner brush, which was quite a difficult task. And I quickly realized there must be a different brush out there for the job, both for the lettering job and outlines of that number. So I went online and started searching for the brushes, and I ended up with a collection I've got right now. So I thought maybe since I'm cleaning my brushes today, maybe I can take you through and just explain a few words about each and every brush and what it do, what it's good for. Maybe it'll give you a bit of a better insight of what's going on the different brushes, because there's so many brushes out there. And this guy over here, he would like to thank you all guys for all the messages he received lately. Seems like he's more popular than I am, but I guess that's how it goes, yeah. Well, I give him that. He's the handsome face from the two of us, so that's fair play. I don't mind. See? Yeah. Okay, let's do this. Okay, so let me introduce you to a few other friends of mine over here. You're familiar with the sword liners. I gotta put them in a white background so you can see them better. You know this guy, it's called Mac 000, and his two of the friends. They're made by different companies, but as you can see, they look very much the same, and the principle behind them is exactly the same. You know, they are some of the handles are shorter, some are longer. This guy's got slightly longer, shorter hair, and they're slightly softer as well, which makes it turning and sharp corners slightly easier than that. And this one is thicker, you know, so you can pull thicker lines and you can load up more paint with it. But that's a personal preference as well, you know, whichever you want to use, and it depends what kind of job you're doing. You got a small design, use smaller brush. You're working on a boat, use bigger brush. It's very simple. These are all equally capable of doing a good job. It depends how we use it, what you want to use it for, and that's about it. You know, I think I got 3 of them, and well, this one's my favorite. I'm always going back to that. Next we've got some scrollers. Let's have a look. These are these scroller brushes. Get you closer. My weapon of choice when it comes to scroll designs is this guy. It's Wizard Vortex #1. He came from America together with his younger brother. He's a Wizard Typhoon. This one is #0. I find these two brushes best for what I use. They work for me the best. I really enjoy using them. Very versatile brush. Another really good one is by a friend of mine, Bruce Wood. It's called the Slinger Scroll. Very thin, nicely, very sharp and snappy brush. Made by a guy in UK called David Jackson, and David Jackson is somebody you want to check out if you want to buy a brush. You know, he's making brushes by hand in UK, and I tell you what, the quality of these brushes and the shipping charges are way better than shipping from the United States. These two bad boys came in, so he's definitely the guy you want to check it out. Same as this one, he made this scroller. It's a big voice scroller for bigger design, as simple as that. But again, my personal favorite is the Vortex range. I can do magic with these brushes. Another two bad boys I've got over here. They called the Mac Long Bobo, or the quadruple Bobo, or the Bobo brush. they're kind of in between the scrollers and the sword liners we had before. There is no right or wrong way of holding the brush. There's no upside down you can hold it, because it's exactly the same from each direction, from each angle. So it's capable of pulling straight lines, and you don't need to turn it in your fingers when you go around the corner, which is very beneficial for some guys. Yet for some reason I prefer the sword liners to these. It's just my personal preference. I know many guys using only these brushes for any kind of design, but I kind of learned to stripe with the sword liners. These are good fun, don't get me wrong, and in right hands they can do a perfect job. It's just not my choice. I use them every now and again, but it's not my to-go brush when I start the scrolling design or sword lining design. Right, next we've got some lettering and some outliners as well, and some detailing brushes. There are many different kinds and many different varieties of them. As you can see, there's a mallet head and pointed head and chisel head and very pointy heads and all sorts. You need to experiment with that. I can't really explain every single one over here and what they're best for. I mean, obviously a brush like this is designed for lettering. It's just for letterheads. If you're painting letters, you're gonna have plenty of these in the arsenal. Same with this bad boy. It's got a chisel head on the end, and it's really long and snappy. But that brings me to another point of the hair. I mean, the pink ones are made with artificial hair, and that makes them very, very snappy and very sharp. And that brush like this is going to behave completely different to this one when the hair are natural. As you can see, they're not as springy, not as snappy, and they got different responsiveness to it. And you know, there's nothing wrong with one type of hair or the other. It's just your personal preference and what you prefer. Sometimes you need that responsiveness of the artificial hair. Some people can handle it, they don't like it. Some people hate having hair which is natural because it's not responsive enough for them. But then again, it's a personal choice. It's what you find the best and what works for you. This brush can be used as a lettering brush, but it can be used as an outliner as well, because with a very sharpy point to it. Again, there is artificial hair on it. I like it, it works for me. I know guys just throw them away because they can handle it. Well, it's not that they can handle it, but it doesn't work for them. Maybe that's the right choice of words for it. And in the end, we've got some of these bad boys here. I like to use them because they're very fine and refined. I like to use them for bit of dry brushing, bit of detailing. They stubby, they really short, they really thin. You know, it's not about outlining, not about pinstriping or lettering. It's mostly when you have a graphics to design, like drawing some kind of a picture of a cartoon character or something like this, and you want to get into that detail and just make that eyeball a little bit, you know, little eyelashes on it or some other things. You know, that's what you need for. You need just variety of brushes like this. You know, these weren't particularly expensive or anything. They just it's good to keep them. It's good to have, you know, a few different brushes that every now and again none of these can do, and these bad boys can handle the job. So that's about it. Alright guys, that's it for today. Don't want to get into too many details, as it's we can discuss different brushes as and when we do in different videos and different styles. I just wanted to like have an overview of what I use and what I've got here, and there are so many different brushes out there, and you just need to experiment with what you like. I found myself buying don't know how many brushes, and I gave some away and then just threw some other ones away because which is unusable to me, or I didn't like the feel of them. And I'm afraid there's no right way or wrong way of doing this. There's no question of what is the best brush. It's what is the best brush for you and how you're going to work this brush. That is how it works, just like everything else. I have my favorite brushes, but that's my personal opinion because my fingers are slightly longer or shorter or fatter than somebody else's, and that's how it just works. I think that will cover it nicely for today, and we're going to get some more details, as I said before, with a different videos. Now, many of you guys asking about this guy, what bike is he riding? He's riding a Yamaha XV 500, which we will be chopping into a little coffee racer very soon, hopefully, and some videos gonna come on that as well. And the other question about him was what his profession. When he was a scientist until not long ago, probably like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and then he was made redundant. So at the moment he's in between the jobs. He's just hanging around with me in the garage, and we enjoy a couple of days every now and again. He's a good lad, and he rides a bike decently as well. So I hope that answers most of your questions. If you have any more questions about me or him, get in touch and we'll take it from there. Alright guys, thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.